My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about some probably the top four things that you really need to possess uh, to get and retain good customers through great customer service. Now, there are different levels of customer service, and it goes from really good to really bad. And this day and age, you have to deliver great customer service if you really want to build your customer base, and that is return customers. So let's dive right into it. So I think probably the biggest thing that you need to possess and your team needs to possess is listening skills. All too often, people are, instead of listening to what you have to say, that they're already in their head thinking about the response to send back before they even finish even hearing what you ever had to say. And customers will pick up on that. The listening skills is when a customer comes in and says, my lawnmower isn't running right. Can you fix it? A simple phrase like that. Come back, absolutely. We can get your lawnmower running. What's it doing or not doing? You've already shown that you've listened to what they've asked, and now you're asking a question back that, you know, did it just die? Or were you running it and it quit? Or did you shut it off and then went to start it back up again and it wouldn't start? You know, it shows the customer that you're listening to them. And all of us have had dealings with bad customer service. So where that person just was not listening and didn't want to listen and could care less about you. Probably made you want to run right back to that business and buy more stuff, right? No, of course not. What's going to get your return customers and your customer base is dealing with the customer the correct way. And that starts off with listening skills. The next skill that you're going to need to possess and your team needs to possess is problem solving. That's what you guys are. That's what we are. We're problem solvers. You know, when a machine comes here, first thing I do is I ask the customer, what is it doing or not doing? Or if I have been listening and the customer told me that in their first few sentences of what it was doing or not doing, then that would lead me towards resolving an issue. If you can solve a problem for a customer, you're on the right track. You know, uh, telling telling you that it wasn't mowing right, that it was chopping up the ground, and you did an oil change on it and shipped it out. You probably weren't listening to the customer and what they had to say. So you got to have listening skills, problem solving ability. I'd also throw in there honesty because most people can tell a bullshitter and when someone's being genuinely honest. What my whole group knows of me and I know what to expect of them is you never lie to a customer. If you do not know the answer, do not just make it up on the fly. If you don't know what the answer is, you tell the customer, I don't know what the answer is, but let me find out and I'll get back with you. That's how simple it is. Where some people feel the need to just start telling lies. My grandfather taught me when I was a kid that if you're honest in the first place, it leads to less problems than if you're being dishonest. Because liars can't remember their lies, so they continue telling more lies. Where someone that's being truthful and honest will have the same answer every time. That's the difference. And that liar has now got themselves into a whole heck of a lot bigger problems than just dealing with the issue at hand and saying, I don't know. Or if they do know, saying, this is what it is. You know, it may not be what the customer wants to hear, but you have to be honest with that customer. And I guarantee you that maybe not that instant, if it's the bill or something like that, but in the long run, they'll respect you and they'll want to deal with you again. So that goes on to integrity. Why integrity? Integrity follows along the lines of honesty, of don't lower your standards because of any reason. And what do I mean by that? We've probably all heard horror stories from certain shops. Whereas, example, customer takes the lawnmower in and says that it won't even turn over. The shop throws it on trickle charge for an hour, hour and a half, charges that battery out, resolves the problem. But instead of telling the customer what was wrong, they take some cleaner, clean up the battery, clean up the terminals, and tell the customer they put a brand new battery in, even though they did not. That's integrity. Don't lower your standards to that level for any reason and for anybody. Because it will catch up to you. And these shops that I guess are being swamped with business and they're turning it away, maybe they can get away with it. But for me, and probably for you, we can't. Because I'm trying to build a core group of people that rely on me year round for their small engine and tractor needs. Because that core is going to keep you going. It's not going to be the one hit or miss coming in and out. And probably another skill to have is empathy. Now, empathy is just the opposite of sympathy. Sympathy is when you feel sorry for someone. And then that's not what I'm saying. Empathy is when you have a general understanding of what that person is going through. Now, this is your choice as a shop owner and of sales and so forth. Is how in depth, how deep do you want the relationship to go? And in my case, I want it more than just a last name and a number, or, you know, a customer. I can give you an example of today. I had a customer come in about an hour ago. He's a regular customer. He's up in his years, and he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, sympathy would be feeling sorry for him, which he doesn't want. I know he doesn't want that. But that goes back to your listening skills of just listen to what the customer is talking about. And in his case, I could relate because years ago I had been diagnosed with malignant invasive melanoma. And I understood the struggles he was going through and let him know he's not alone. And also let him know that if there was anything I could do for him on my end, let me know. Do shop owners need to go that far? That's up to you. I mean, My tendency with a shop is they may come through the first time as a customer, but they're going to leave as a friend. And if you have an option of who you want to deal with, either a friend of yours or somebody that you don't know, shop, who are you going to take it to? You're going to take it to the friend that you trust. And it's going to be because you've proven yourself to be trustworthy. So I'm hoping that some of these things, are kind of set off light bulbs. Let's go on the extra mile. So listen, problem solve, honest, integrity, empathy. That's the 5 things